Yer. Goody team, what's goody team? Yer.
Oh, I don't even have my mic thing on. God. All right, perfect. Just gonna give about another 2 minutes to join, and then we will get started. Gonna be going over the pairs you see on the right hand side with the red flag next to their name, starting off with AU, finishing off with US oil. But if you guys have any questions about any other pairs, just let me know. We didn't update our charts this weekend, so we'll take the time to update our 4 hour time frame as well. See if we have any continuations for the week. And then we'll go on from there. For the ones watching the recording, any questions, let me know. You guys could always leave the question in the comment section, message me on Discord, whatever you guys are most comfortable with. And if there's no questions in the chat, we're just gonna fly through this. Again, I'll update my charts like if I was doing it myself. So if there's no question in the chat, shouldn't take us longer than 30 minutes. And then as always, tomorrow morning I'll wake up, look at the charts. If we have anything to trade by the time we wake up, we'll turn the stream on and we'll go on from there. Yo, why don't you do the class now that you're here? As a matter of fact, I'm gonna wake you up 6 a.m. tomorrow. You ignore me now or what? It's a good thing my charts are updated. Whatever, man. All right, let's get started. So AU, we are sitting at the top of A2, safety trade for second zone of consolidation. Price is still just moving sideways up here. We had 3 months of rise. After 3 months, market must move sideways or go down. Let me add a few lines here for the weekly outlook. We have a week of drop. Started off the week with a gap in the market. Came up, filled the gap up. Still trading between the previous higher high and higher low that we had. Got a few days here to update, so that trade we had taken on Thursday was the last time we were on the charts. It was a simple lower high point, beautiful engulfing candle straight to TP. Then price went down, induced the 30-minute lows. Once we induced those lows, price came back up. Still trading between the previous higher high and higher low point. We'll be patient. EA, Price reached the, not yet, almost reached the point of interest. I want to see what price does in this area before we say whether or not we're in level 2 or if this is just a simple pullback for price to give us that daily time frame higher low to continue back up to the top side. We're almost there. We'll see it on the lower time frame. Then we had a week of no net last, or the week before last, and then we had a week of drop. And price is still making lower lows and lower highs on the 30-minute time frame. Low, lower, high, low, lower, high, lower, low. We had a day of rise, then price gave us a day of drop. Price gave us 2 days of drop. And we are trading between these lower high points on the 30-minute time frame and this lower low point over here. From where price is now to the lows, I'm just going to target the low of that. It's 85 pips, so this is a pair that moves about 90 pips on a day-to-day basis. So we'll see if we can get price to tap into those lows. What's good, Kendall? Can you explain why we wouldn't have taken that GJ 372? I got you. I don't even know what you're talking about. I got you though. I'll be there quick, man. EURUSD. Huh? Did you take the trade? So EURUSD. We were in those previous peak highs. Wanted to see what price was gonna do here, right? So on the daily time frame, price gave us a change of character. Ow. Yeah, those mosquitoes fucked me up. We have a daily change of character. Our time frame. Price gave us another lower low point. We just continued that push to the bottom. We also have that 4-hour gap at the top of the market. Fell and it just continued to plummet down. Then we have a week of drop. After 4 weeks of no nuts, finally have some movement on EURUSD. And then on the 30-minute, we had a gap that opened up with a week, came up, filled it. Only other gap we have now is here on the 30-minute and the 4-hour time frame. What's this? I don't even know anymore. Oh, that was the. I have no clue. Don't remember why we had that box there, but it's all good. We don't need it no more. 2 days of no net. Then price gave us a day of drop. Then price gave us a day of rise that filled up that gap for today. Then we had lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, into these lower lows all the way at the bottom. Kendall, you here? EU. Currently waiting to see are we in the second zone of consolidation, which we can see now prices pretty much just making equal highs and equal lows. Still in that trend though. we could still see in that zone we're still making higher highs and higher lows. So I want to, before I mark this up as a zone of consolidation, I want to see what these lows do here to see if price is just going to respect that trend, and then we could just continue to say that we're in level 2 and this is just that trend, that continuation. Or if price comes down and starts making those equal lows, then I'll mark this up as a second zone of consolidation. um I'm here. Did you take the GJ trade or no? No continuations on the daily. The 4 hour, we're still trading between those previous higher highs and higher low points. We add this line real quick. We had a week of no net, then price gave us a week of drop, counter drop, and then on the 30, we had lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So we're trading between these lows over here on the 30. It's a small zone. I'm gonna use this first, the body of this red candle, and then the lowest candle, which is the wick. And I'm gonna use the lower high point, which is over here. Price tapped into it today, so we'll see what price does here. Are we gonna respect these highs, or is price gonna, or are we gonna break over these highs, or is price gonna respect it and go back down? We had a gap, crazy gap. Price came down, filled it, and then just continued that push. Um, no, just wanted you to tell people why we wouldn't have taken it. 15-minute engulfing too. Gotcha. Yeah, I haven't even literally haven't seen my charts since Thursday of last week. So I don't even know what you're talking about on GJ, but I got you. We'll do a quick analysis on it. GA also gave us that push, similar to what was it, ECAD? We're in peak high, waiting to see if this was gonna be our level 1 down to the bottom. We're still trading on that daily time frame, higher high, higher low, and it gave us that change of character that we wanted to see. And then price, as soon as it gave us that push, just continued to fall down. Daily change of character, change this to red. We're trading between those highs and these daily lows down here. We had 2 months of drop, this month being the 3rd month, gave us a push, and we're still just sitting down here. 4 hour time frame gave us a lower low point. And then we had another month, so now, or 2 weeks. We have 2 weeks of no net. And then on the 30-minute, we had a change of character, higher high, higher low. We still, it's just been wicks giving us the inducement right on the 800 as well. I'm gonna keep the 30-minute high as it is. I'm not gonna change this just yet. And we'll see if price wants to give us a break above. We had a day of rise, 2 days, and then price gave us a day of drop today. Oh, 15-minute. Okay. Just gonna keep it like this for now. GCAD. Still trading higher high, higher low, higher high. Price tapped into the daily lows. Gave us a month of drop. Still have that gap. Let's see. We had 2 weeks of drop. Then last week price gave us that third week push. Opened up the week this week with a gap in the market. Gaps in the market reset the trend. So we'll see if price continues to fall. And then on the 4-hour too, we had a higher high, higher low, higher high, and then price gave us a change of character. Down to the bottom. Four-hour change, trading between the same high and then these lows down here. Since this candle doesn't have a bottom wick, I'm gonna use the body of that opening candle. Pretty big zone, but we'll update it if we need to. And then on the 30, we had lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, down into these lower lows down here. Similar situation, these candles don't have any wicks, so I'm gonna use the body of the red candle that's here, and then the bottom of that candle. And then the lower high point. Simple. We had 2 days of drop on the third day. Gave us a drop, finished on a no net. Then gave us another day of drop. Then gave us a day of rise today. And then we still have that 30-minute gap here at the top. What that mean, yo? Resets the trend, man. The infamous GJ. Alright, let's see. Let's see the damage that we did. So GJ still in the uptrend, still in peak high. Price gave us another high point, so I'm gonna update this real quick. We have a month of drop. Nothing really to talk about on the daily. Price is just pushing up, 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 up. On the 4-hour, we had a 4-hour change. Gave us this high and this low. We have a weaker rise. Then price gave us second week of rise. Market opened. Just continued that push to the top side. So that third week high was already hit. The second week of rise too. Wouldn't really pay too much attention to it. Price never went above last week's high. So then here on the 30-minute, we want on the 30-minute, let's see. You said there was a 15-minute engulfing. All right, let's look at the 31st. So we had high, higher low, higher high, boom, lower low, lower high. Then price gave us a lower low inducement, right? Never gave us a valid break, just gave us the inducement. But then price gave us a 30-minute change. Right, it gave us a 30-minute change here. Came down. So there's two ways I'm gonna look at GJ. The change looks good. The only thing I don't like is after price gave us a change of character, which happened literally in the last hour of the market being open. The market opened for the week and it gave us a gap push to the bottom. So I'm not gonna mark this up as higher high, higher low, higher high. So that's the first thing is first. I'm just gonna mark all of this push as the same trend, and this is just a change of character. Right? So we're trading between these 30-minute lows and then the 30-minute highs. They're not really set just yet, but we're gonna just put the box up here for now. And then we have a day of rise, 2 days of rise, and then price gave us a third day. You gotta give me more context, man. Where the hell's this 15-minute engulfing candle you're talking about? Making me play Where's Waldo with this chart, bro? Talking about this one right here? Or this one here? There's like 10 million engulfing candles here. This is not valid, so it can't be this one. This engulfing candle that was printed at 10 in the morning is valid. Is this the one that you're talking about or not? Where's that, what time is that 15-minute engulfing that you're talking about? This one? Well, I mean, 11 a.m. Friday? Okay, so the first thing is, first and foremost, did price, was STP already hit by the time this engulfing candle was printed? Right, that's the first thing. However, why I wouldn't have taken it, regardless of anything else, is just where we're at with GJ. Right, GJ for me right now, I'm not really actively trading it. Right, there's the way the candlesticks are printing, how we're looking on the day on the higher time frames, right, on the daily, the 4 hour. Not really what I want to see. If we go down to, what's good, Albert? Welcome to the stream, my brother. Been away for a while. Hope you're all doing well. I'm doing good, man. Can't complain. Hope you've been doing well yourself. Um, and then the really the second thing is just, we go back down into the 30. It's just not really, even though it's a 15-minute engulfing, right? But we'll go to the 15 too. Let's go again. Before this engulfing candle was even printed, right? I'll say the positive, which is price gave us the inducement of the break, right? We go down into the lower time frame, we can see that we started that trend, right? We got the change, we got the break, and we just continued higher highs, higher lows the entire time. Assuming STP wasn't hit by the time 10 a.m. was printed. Check cord, I got you. Okay, so STP wasn't hit yet. All right, so you got the 15-minute first. You had price. At one point, you had all the EMAs bunched up. We started seeing the cross above. We got the higher low on the 50 EMA, which is what we want to see, right? We're in peak high, level 3. Bounce off the 50. On the 15, you pretty much had the same thing. EMAs look the same. You had the engulfing candle bounce off the 50. Would have been in drawdown for a little bit, for what, 15, 30, 45 minutes. And then price went back up, hit STP. Me personally, I wouldn't be even looking at this until we pretty much get out of the area. And the reason I say that is, yes, even though we had the inducement of the low, which happened here, right? I'm also looking at this as the areas where price could reject the highs as well. Because before today, right? Because before today, all of last week, what was price doing? Inducing the lows, inducing the high, right? So Sunday, Monday, we induced the lows. At the end of Monday, induced the highs. Market opened Monday going into Tuesday. After it induced the lows, it went right back all the way to the bottom. Price went up to the middle, then came back right back down to the bottom to Wednesday going into Thursday. Right after it induced the lows, it came back up to the top side. Right, so when I would be active again on GJ, looking at a chart like this would be pretty much today, right? Today, tomorrow, right? Tuesday, Wednesday. Why? Because we already broke out of this area. right? The only other thing that I would say now is, again, just look at the left hand side of the chart. We're now reaching the previous highs that we were in. We also already have 3 days of rise. We already know after 3 days, the market must move sideways or go down. You have a gap in the market, resets the trend. Price could continue, right? But if we look at where price is at and we continue to look to our left hand side, once price breaks these highs, we have clean traffic all the way to the top, right? Because previous to this, we just had straight red candles all the way to the bottom. So the only thing I would say about that trade and why I wouldn't even bat an eye to that area is just because of how close we were to the previous highs that we've rejected before. Keeping structure in mind. But why we wouldn't have taken it is because of the zone of consolidation. Exactly. Never got a clean break with all the other confirmations. Right, exactly. It's pretty much the only reason. Right, because even previous to those to the buys, right, before that, what we had from last week, right, or from the end of February, we were back at the highs, gave us the inducement. In the highs, what did it give us? Shoulder, head, shoulder. Right, we're waiting for a valid break, which we never got. Right, so that was already our first confirmation. One of the confirmations that we want to see. Right, we wanted to see a valid break of the lows. Did we ever get it? No. It didn't give us a valid break, and then price gave us another zone of consolidation after the inducement. Gave us a change, never gave us a valid break, just inducements. Right, so we had some confirmations going both ways. And that's really the biggest key. Whenever a chart is giving me too many confirmations going both ways, it's like, rather wait for something a little bit more clean. Right, and at this point, zone of consolidation, what are we trading? What are we going to do? I would rather wait for the breaks to then get in once we get those valid breaks. That was it. Wanted you to show the people even with confirmations knowing when to take a step back. Look at the bigger picture. Yeah. No, and then GJ again. This is a pair we've been talking about since before the new year. Right. This is a pair right now where it's not even really nothing clean on GJ right now. You look at the daily time frame. Where are we? We're in peak high, and we've just been sitting up here, right, since the beginning of the year. Literally since January, we've just been sitting at these highs. Where price is giving you, you look at the candlesticks on the daily. What do we have? Just exhaustion candles at the highs and exhaustion candles at the lows. Just trapping traders. Right? If I'm not mistaken, I think one of the sessions that we did a couple weeks ago now. But how many traders you think, right? If you go down to the daily and the 4 hour, right, how many traders you think are stuck in these positions going short? Because they're like, oh look, we got double tops, and we see that all the time. You go to Instagram or go to Twitter, just put hashtag GBPJPY. Right, how many traders you think were stuck in these trades here, thinking that this was the double top, the break of the neckline, the retest, and look where we're at right now. Right, if you took the trade at the retest, straight to stop loss. So it's just really being able to see these areas in the bigger picture, right? You zoom out and be like, all right, what makes sense here? And at this point, really nothing does. It's too much going on. There's no clean trend. Price is just really moving sideways. And once again, do I have to say it again? We've been saying this for how many months? What is the I'll let you guys say it in the chat. What's the saying that we have? What has price been doing that is like, we just let price do what it's got to do? Since the beginning of February, what has price been doing? Price been gay? All right. No, you're not wrong, but all right, man. So that's really all it is, man. I'll just before I trade GJ, I'm wait for the trend to develop. Right? Albert says been choppy, exactly. It's simple. If there's no trend, I'm not trading it. Right now, price is just moving sideways, giving you confirmations everywhere. Right? For the traders who trade patterns and only focus on patterns, last week or when was this? The 25th of February. Right? If you trade, oh look, shoulder head shoulder is showing up. But where are we? Zone of consolidation. So we already know this is just a huge zone of consolidation. Everybody else who thought this was going to be where price was going to go short, there you go. And again, it's the same thing. This was on the 30 minutes. So imagine, again, in the same area where they gave you those false confirmations on the 30, on the higher time frames, is also the same area where traders are looking to get into a trade because they thought that this was that double top break of the neckline simple retest. Right? Same exact area. So once you're able to see all of those things combined, it's like, okay, this makes sense. This is why we stay away from shit like this. There's no point. Once we start seeing the trend, once we start seeing that price is actually moving instead of just moving sideways every single time we're just ping-ponging from the top and the bottom, there's no point in trading that. No point. Everything but a straight line, exactly. There is no straight line. GU pretty much in the same scenario as EU. The only difference between the two is that EU we could see that price is still giving us higher highs, higher lows. GU looks like it's a zone of consolidation, right? So, I'm more inclined to put that this is already our second zone of consolidation because we could see that price is giving us low, low, equal high, just moving sideways in this area. But for now, I'm gonna just keep it with the highlighter. I'm not gonna mark it up just yet. We'll see what price does at the lows, right? We're right back at the low of the zone of consolidation. We had 2 weeks of drop on the third week. We had a gap last week. This week we have another gap. Gave us that third week low. After 3 weeks, the market must move sideways or go up. 30-minute time frame, we still have those gaps in the market. Had a gap again in the beginning of the week at the market open, came up, filled it right away. We're trading lower low, lower high, lower low. Then price gave us that change of character back to the top side. So we're now trading between the lows and these highs. Price gave us a day of drop, day of rise, 2 days of rise. And we still got that gap at the top. We're right on the 800 EMA, and on the 800 EMA, what are we doing? Look at the candles. Crazy exhaustion candles for the last, that was 3 p.m. So for the last 4 hours, we've just been getting crazy exhaustion candles. Every single 30-minute candle since then. And that's pretty much it, yo. GU, that's the last one. All these other pairs, US 30, gold, Bitcoin, oil. We'll talk about oil too. Interested in that one. And then silver. So we'll see. I just want to update again since we didn't update our charts this week, and I'm gonna just take the time here to do it now. Still trading in a higher high, higher low on the daily. On the 4 hour, let's go ahead and add our weekly lines real quick. We had a week of drop, then price gave us a second week of drop. Market open, crazy gap like the other pairs. Gave us a 4 hour change of character. Trading between the 4 hour highs up here and these 4 hour lows. Then on the 30, we're still making lower lows and lower highs. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. I'm not going to mark this since this was just an inducement. All of this is part of the same trend, lower low. So we're trading between these lower high points over here and these lower lows on this side. And then we had day of drop, 2 days of drop, market open, crazy gap, went to the bottom, finished on a rise. Filled that gap up as well. Gold price just been moving sideways since what day was this? Let's see, the 4th. Chart froze. Give me a minute. My God. There you go. Since the 4th, we've just been moving sideways with gold. We have a no net for the day as well. And then 30-minute lows and highs. We're still in those crazy 30-minute lows and highs from the top to the bottom. And then here we could see price on the 30 gave us very similar to what GU was looking like, right? Crazy shoulder head shoulder here. And again, price at the lows just giving us the inducements. Hasn't given us a break. Price has just been moving sideways. So we'll wait for some more confirmations on gold before I'm even interested in this shit. Nothing to trade. Sideways movement, man, I'm away from it. There's 30 million other pairs to look at. Especially with gold, I'm not gonna get a headache trying to force a trade or trying to guess what's happening. I don't need to guess. It's right there on the chart. Sideways movement. Do we have a trend? No. You try to trade gold, what are you doing? You're just getting stopped out. We go back to the 30-minute. Look at this. Doesn't matter what time of day you're trading. If you think price is gonna go long because you saw a double bottom, as soon as it goes up, goes right back down. It plummets straight to stop loss. Right? You try to catch a falling knife, you get into the trades late, what happens? Goes right back to the top. Just rejecting highs and rejecting lows the entire time. No point. No trend. There's nothing there. Bitcoin, same situation. Looks very similar to gold. What has price been doing for the last couple weeks? Last couple days? Just sideways moving. Moving sideways. Have a week of no net. And then Saturday at 19. Have another week of no net. That's 2 weeks. Price has just been moving sideways. And then on the 30, we had day of drop, 2 days of drop, 3 days of drop. After 3 days of drop, the market must move sideways or go down or move up. But we went down. Why? Gap in the market resets the trend. Then price gave us a day of rise. Oil. So with oil right now, everything we had marked up until price went right back to the high. So only thing we didn't have marked up. However, we have an engulfing candle. Price also at this point still just an inducement. Right? Oil right now, there's not really, could we say that we're right with overall saying that this is going to be the turnaround and we're in A1 still? Still too early to tell. I want to keep an eye on what I'm going to do here. At this point, with the 4-hour engulfing, with how high it is, not really expecting price right? If we were to say that, okay, this is still A1 and we're looking for that downtrend, right? At this point, I'm not expecting price to come right back up here. There's no way, right? So using the inducement candle, which is the first one, right? Not the crazy one where price went up to 120, right? I'm gonna be looking at this candle, which was the first candle that went above that zone consolidation. And this is where I'm gonna be looking for price to either give us a small confirmation, right? Either give us the break to then continue, or this is where we will continue to see price give us the inducement to then turn back around. Let me add a few lines here on the 4-hour time frame. Give me 1 second. We had 2 weeks of rise. Sorry, 2 weeks of rise. Last week gave us that third week push. After 3 weeks, the market must move sideways or go down. So we'll see. 30-minute. We had 2 days. Price gave us a third day. Then price gave us a fourth day crazy push to the top side. Then price gave us a day of drop today. Check cord when you get the chance. I got y'all check right now. Red is 4 hour, yellow is 30-minute. Yellow is 4 hour, red is 30-minute. The yellow 4 hour shoulder be valid, adding the inducement confidence as well as the 4 hour lows. For silver, I got you. We'll go over that now as well. And then silver, similar situation to gold, very similar. No continuations on the daily, nothing to update on the daily for now. On the 4 hour, we had the inducement of the 4 hour low, then price just started moving sideways. We had 2 weeks of rise. Third week, price gave us that third week high, then plummeted down to the bottom side, finished on a drop, no continuations. And then on the 30-minute, we had a shoulder, right, which is just a zone of consolidation, gave us the inducement, came back to the top side. After it went to the top, plummeted straight down to the bottom, and then just gave us a zone of consolidation for the rest of the week, pretty much. Price is just moving sideways. So very similar to gold in that aspect. And then today, price gave us a day of rise. And then we are trading still low, lower, high, lower, low. And then price gave us that change of character, higher, high. So we're still trading between the change of character, higher, high, and the lows that were made. So before anything else, this is what I want to see. And then your question for silver was, would the yellow 4 hour be valid, adding the inducements confidence as well as the 4 hour lows? No, I wouldn't even, how you have it marked, I wouldn't even mark that as a shoulder. Like at all. It's not even, not even close. Like the, again, like the only, if you want to be aggressive with it, right on the 4 hour, we could say this. Right, and then we know we have the inducement here, which was just again, I wouldn't even mark this up because at this point, this is just all market structure looking at the 4 hour lows and highs, right? Just looking higher high, higher low, higher high, and it gave us the inducement of the previous higher low point, right? And after it gave us the inducement, that's when it started turning around, right? So I wouldn't even mark this like that. However, going back to how you have your chart marks now, I wouldn't even mark this, right? I'm gonna have it just put it in a square view here. I wouldn't even mark this as a shoulder head at all. Like it's not even clean structure enough for me to mark that up like that, right? Because it's either like this or like that. We don't really have that here. So, um, right, and then the second screenshot you sent me, yes, I see the second screenshot you sent me, which is, what time frame are you on here? The 30? Let me go to my 30 real quick. Right, where on the 30-minute, could we say the same thing? Looks a little different. See that, right? Right, if we say that overall, this is that move, and we're looking for price to break these lows, which technically we did. This would be the area where you would want to start looking for price to go back down, right? But then when price gave you that push down to the bottom, we just had price move sideways, and we're currently just sitting at those highs, right? That little zone of consolidation that we have on the 30. This pair I would treat it the same way we were just talking about GJ. Like there is no trend here right now. There's nothing clean with silver at this point. On 30 minutes, yeah, pretty much the same thing on the 30. Like what I would, again, like at this point would be, once again, right? Once we break up over these highs, we have clean traffic back up until here, right? Which is when we'll want to see price break these highs, and then we have clean traffic. Once price breaks those highs, we have clean traffic back to the previous highs at 96. Right? And then if we break those highs, we have clean traffic all the way up to peak high. Straight red candles, right? And then again, if we go back to the 4 hour, those same highs that we want to see would be how we have it, how you said on the screenshot, right? If this would be the um overall that second shoulder, right? Which at this point is, again, we just know is a zone of consolidation. We break above those highs, we have clean traffic all the way up to the daily and the 4 hour highs. Straight red candles to the bottom. Right? But before we could even see all of that, again, go back to the 30, what are we doing? Just moving sideways. Before we could even consider taking any of those trades, especially now, right? We're right back at the top of that zone of consolidation. What do we want to see? We want to see price break. Price breaks these highs, we come up to here. This is the next area. Before what? Before we either see price give us the inducement to go back, or we gotta wait for price to give us the break to continue. And if it gives us the break, it'll reach. If it gives us the break, we'll be looking for price to reach the next highs. And once we break those highs, those are the highs where now we'll see the price break to continue that overall trend. And we've seen that before. Right? We've seen that before where price just breaks that last area, which in this point again would be the top of the overall zone of consolidation, to then continue. Or we'll see price give us the inducement to go back down to the bottom. But where we're sitting right now, there's really not a lot to talk about. We've pretty much just been moving sideways since Tuesday of last week. So for me personally, this is again another pair where, so the same thing we've been saying, right? Because shit's been moving sideways since Tuesday. Same shit we've been talking about since last week. Right? In a zone of consolidation, I'm not forcing nothing. No point. And we see the reasons why. right? It doesn't matter what other confirmations you see in these areas, right? It doesn't matter. Why? Because at the end of the day, price is just going to continue to reject lows and reject highs the entire time. Doesn't matter if you have a 372, doesn't matter if you have a third week push, a third month push. Doesn't matter if you see what would look like a type 1, type 2, type 3, flag post pattern. All of that is off the table when you're in a zone of consolidation. Doesn't matter if it's a double top, double bottom, engulfing candle, exhaustion candles. All of that is off the table here. Because price is just going to continue to do the same thing. Reject the lows, reject the highs, reject the lows, reject the highs, reject the lows, go to the middle, consolidate in the middle. It's the same thing. Same behavior that we see on every single pair that's doing the exact same thing. There's no point. So at this point, we're just not I keep it very simple for myself. Trend is your friend. Is there a trend? No. What the fuck are we trading for then? Look at a pair like AU. A simple ass trade on Thursday. Very simple. We have the change, we have the break, we have the retest, we have the engulfing candle. We already know where we gotta go. Right? But once we start forcing those trades on pairs that don't even look like they're tradable, that's when the losses start stacking up. There's no point. Let price do what it has to do. And as again, across the table, is the behavior is the same across the table on every single pair. Every single pair right now just doesn't even look good. We're just moving sideways. Crazy movements to the top side, crazy movements to the bottom side within a 12-hour frame. Markets open, we fucking plummet to the bottom, and then 4 or 5 hours later, we're right back at the top. And we've been doing that for how many days now? And again, on every single pair, right? We're going through it one by one right now, so you can see every single pair is doing that. There's no continuations on either time frame, 30 or the 4-hour. Daily, there's no continuations. We don't have any break of structures right now. We just have some pairs have change of characters. Right? So being able to see that now already lets me know, cool, tomorrow morning I'm not really going to be looking for a lot. Before I even consider taking those trades, right, to talk about the ones that have the change of characters. Before I even consider taking the trade, I need to see the break. For the ones who are moving sideways, what do I want to see? I want to see the break. That's it. Without that, there's nothing else I could do. Right? Literally every single pair looks like that. Every single pair is moving the same exact way. Even the ones that we don't even trade. But that's it for today, guys. Any other questions? Any other pairs? DOPUSD. You'll buy DOPUSD right now. Yo, those mosquitoes messed me up. My legs are itch. Great session, old man. All right. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Tell Grandpa I said what up. You heard Grandpa? Talking about you, man. Definitely talking about you. You're not talking about me. Young bucks can't have. He said, dang, he didn't say what's up back? Nah, he said he's not a grandpa. He said you got him confused with somebody else. He said he's disowning me. Yeah, it's fucked. He said he's the Sony man.
Why?
Cause you didn't say what's up back.
Cause I didn't say what's up back.
Mm-hmm.
There ain't no grandpa around here to say anything back.
He said there's no grandpa around here to be saying what's up back.
He in Chicago, Tom.
Did you say that? What?
He's in Chicago.
He says that you're in Chicago.
Oh, grandpa.
Oh, that your grandpa's in Chicago. My bad. Here you go. Now he says, tell Uncle I say what's up. He said, now we're talking. What's goody? MS, there's no more questions. I hope you guys have a good rest of your night. Regardless of the fact that everything is consolidating, we'll be back tomorrow morning. I'll wake up, look at the charts. If there's anything that's worth looking at, we'll be back.
Oil. Time to look at oil.
Look at oil. Take oil right now,
Take
as
it
a matter of fact.
sideways.
Take a sideways facts. Yo, if only that was a fucking option. Yo, next trade I'm taking is gonna be a sideways trade. We're not buying, we're not selling, we're moving sideways. Yeah, that'd be a fucking hell of a thing. Alright, team. See y'all tomorrow. Peace out.